After winning Game 4, the Raptors have extended their series with the 76ers, but at 3-1 down, the situation is definitely bleak. But in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how the Raptors can still win this series and move on to the second round. Let's get into it.
Game series, Canada, the NBA title is yours.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jacob here, back with AmateurHour Sports for another Toronto Raptors YouTube video. If you want the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news, then you need to be subscribed to AmateurHour Sports. And once again, this video is powered by Betstamp. The Betstamp app offers the best in sports bet tracking and odds finding. Betstamp is not a betting site, but it tells you which of your favorite sports books is offering the best price for that sports wager that you wanted to make. Right now, you can sign up for the Betstamp app with a link in the description and use code RAPS, R-A-P-S, on referral to let them know that I sent you there. But let's get into our video for today. I want to break down Game 5, which we are going to see tonight, and talk a little bit about Game 4 and what has gotten us to this point in the series and why the Raptors still have an opportunity to move on to the second round, even though they're down 3-1 and even though they were down 3-0. And for starters, I want to say when the Raptors were down 3-0, I really was dejected. I really was upset. I think I reacted a little bit too harshly to that Game 3. I think I was just so upset about how the Raptors had let this series kind of play out and gotten themselves into such a bad situation. So I do kind of want to apologize for bringing those bad vibes to the video. I think I was very, very harsh on Pascal Siakam, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. So Game 4, what the Raptors brought to that game that's been different from other games. Well, for starters, Pascal Siakam looked like the all-NBA player that he has been throughout the season. 34 points, and I think the biggest thing for him in the playoff career high point total was that he was being super aggressive all throughout the game, getting free throws. He took 15 free throws in that game. Like, it's so crazy to see Siakam get that many free throws in a game, but he earned them. He earned them by getting good looks for himself, making a ton of shots, making the defense have to play a lot harder against him, and he also did that by being aggressive and going to the rim. In Game 3, he took 5 shots in the second half plus overtime, which is just simply unacceptable for him. He didn't even make any of those shots, but he can't take that little amount of shots. Like, when he's not being aggressive, that is a problem. An aggressive Siakam is an all-NBA Siakam. And I talked a little bit in a previous video about how Pascal Siakam maybe can't be that first option for a contending team, a team that wants to win an NBA championship. But I kind of want to retract a little bit on that because Siakam is good enough to be the number one option. Can he be that bona fide superstar? No, I don't really think so. But if you fill out a really good roster around him and really work on your roster construction in the future, Siakam can be the number one guy on the team, especially as we wait for Scottie Barnes to eventually take the reins. So I think I was definitely a little bit harsh on Siakam in previous videos, but I'm always going to back my guy. I've been backing him all throughout this season, all throughout last season. I'm sticking to my guns. I still love Pascal Siakam and think he's such an important part of this team. But the defense is where the Raptors really won that Game 4, holding Joel Embiid to some poor shooting from the field, holding James Harden to poor shooting from the field. And finally, we got a game where the supporting cast and the Sixers didn't light us up, and I think that was a big part of what the Raptors did, plus having the offense of Siakam, plus having phenomenal bench performances from Chris Boucher and Thaddeus Young. It was really good to see the role players in this one help us out because starters, Fred VanVleet got injured, didn't offer us much even when he was there playing. OG Anunoby wasn't great in this one, even though he's been great throughout the series, and Khem Birch, he's kind of just there from the start. Great to have a lot of the bench pieces really helping us out over the course of that Game 4. And you're looking at this title, like Raptors were down 3-0. How the hell are they going to win this series? And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie here. The Raptors, in reality, are probably not gonna win this series. I said at 3-0 down, like the series is over. Let's just hope to extend it to 5 games and win a game in this series. I'm happy we were able to accomplish that, but I had the taste of winning, and I like it. I want to keep doing it. And we have that momentum from Game 4. We just need to focus on one game at a time. I have so many people coming up to me, asking me, messaging me, DMing me, whatever. Can the Raptors win this series? And, well, obviously, it's not impossible for the Raptors to win this series, but I think the main focus for this team needs to take it one game at a time. Don't even worry about Game 6. Don't even worry about Game 7 if that happens. Worry about Game 5. Game 4 was all about worrying about Game 4. Win that game, go from there. Great. You won it. Move on. Put that in the backseat. Look at Game 5. What are you going to do to win Game 5? To win Game 5, the Raptors are going to need to have another really good night defensively. I don't think they're going to get as many free throws as they did in that one in Game 5, but Siakam needs to continue to be aggressive, and force those calls, force the officials to make those calls. I think the big thing as well is getting players like Joel Embiid in foul trouble. Like, you don't want to go into the fourth quarter with Joel Embiid on 2 fouls, not having to worry about how aggressive he can be in the paint defensively. You want him to at least think about what he's doing there defensively, so he can't be as aggressive because he has to worry about those fouls. So being aggressive is going to be a big thing for the Raptors. Continue to do that. The role players typically play better at home, so we do need to kind of see how we can get the role players involved heavily in this Game 5, but I think a lot of the starters do need to chip in. It's great to have Scotty Barnes back because he's maybe not quite 100%, but his impact was profound in that Game 4, despite the fact he didn't have a great offensive showing. The Raptors, we really have not had a fair representation of them over the course of this series. Absolutely, we could have played better, but it would be easier to play better with a full supporting cast that is healthy. Gary Trent in Game 1 and 2 clearly was not healthy. Since he's recovered from that illness, he's been great in Games 3 and 4. Scotty Barnes got injured in that Game 1, where he might have been on his way to getting the first ever Raptors playoff triple-double, so it was great to see him back. It's great to see that he'll be healthier for this Game 5 as well. I hope he can start this one also, so we don't really have to use Khem Birch in this game because he just really doesn't have a ton of effect on the team. Nonetheless, not a fair representation of the Raptors so far, but it is what it is. We are down 3-1 in this series, but I gotta say, if any coach is going to be the first one to ever blow a 3-0 lead in a playoff series, it's going to be Doc Rivers. If there's going to be one to do it, and it's going to happen eventually, Doc Rivers is going to be the one to do it. If there is a coach to coach a team back from 3-0 down in this series, it's got to be Nick Nurse among like a very small short list of candidates. Nick Nurse's name is on that list. He's been a great coach all throughout the season, all throughout his tenure with the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are fully capable of doing it. It is extremely unlikely to be able to accomplish something like this. Something that no NBA team has ever done before. I think only one MLB team has done it ever before, and I think only 4 NHL teams have ever done it before. Gone from 3-0 down to win a series. So, can the Raptors be the first to accomplish this? Yes. Is it likely? No. But we are going to take it one game at a time. Siakam, if he can continue to play like this, maybe not even quite to this level, but if he's going to continue to be aggressive and play confidently, that is going to seriously help us win and open up other avenues for players like Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby to continue to be deadly in this series. If the bench can give us a good performance as well in this Game 5, we can certainly win Game 5 as well. If you win Game 5, you go back to home in Game 6, but again, going back to my original point, you got to take everything one game at a time. So defense needs to continue to be as good as it was in Game 4. I think Philly role players are going to start to step up a little bit more because, like I said, role players play better when they're at home. That goes the same for Philly's role players. Maxey probably won't have as bad as a game as he did have in Game 4 offensively. Tobias Harris, who's been great in this series, I expect that to continue. You leave Danny Green wide open in the corner that many times like he did in Game 4, he's going to hit more than he did in that Game 4. So these are the things you have to worry about. I'm sure the Raptors are aware, but just keep locked in. Just put on another great showing because Games 3 and 4 are really on a knife edge for most of the game, and things can fall your way like they did for us in Game 4. We forced the issue, but things can fall your way. Put on a really good and competitive display. Maybe you come out with a victory in this one, and then you're right back in the series at 3-2. So one game at a time. The Raptors, they executed what they needed to do defensively in Game 4. Can we have more of a supporting cast for guys like Siakam and guys like Thad and Boucher who were so good in that Game 4? Like Thad and Boucher were amazing. I think that might have been Thad's best game in a Toronto Raptors uniform. Can we have more people contribute to what we did offensively? Because if we do, and we're bringing the defense, I feel really good about the Raptors winning that Game 5. So let's take it one game at a time. I am super excited the Raptors were able to win a game in this series. We avoided the sweep. The Sixers definitely are smelling blood, still up 3-1 here, but the Raptors are capable of doing it. It is not likely. I'm not here saying the Raptors are going to do it. The reality is they are probably not going to do it. They're probably not going to win this series at this point in time. However, I'm cheering for them every step of the way, and I'm backing them every step of the way. They can do it. They just need to produce, and there can't be any sort of mental lapses in the big moments. We cannot afford to have any sort of big mistakes here that can cost us a game because we're in do or die mode. But in do or die mode, this team is hungry. They want to do it. They believe in themselves, and I believe in them too. So what do you make of this video? Is the series over? Do the Raptors have any sort of chance at all? Let's start the discussion in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy. You're still here watching at the end of the video. You clearly enjoyed, so that deserves a like. Let's get to 200 likes on this video, and make sure for the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news that you are subscribed to Amateur Hour Sports. Help us on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Sign up to Betstamp with code RAPS and join our Discord to continue the conversation outside of the videos. Links for everything in the description, and I'll see you again next time after Game 5, hopefully talking about a potential Game 6.